We've worked with probably about 400 plus franchise companies historically over the last 8 or 10 years. Some of the largest brands in the country, VFSI. We worked with Brass Tap, launched them. Games to You, which is a mobile gaming company with hundreds of units, and so on and so forth. And we've done pretty much every show in the circuit. We've done, the Expo in DC, we've done Vegas, the multi-unit food, we've done the smaller circuits, so, all the different show circuits. And invariably, it's always a very difficult process to get to the shows and booths, and there's unions, and we just saw a lot of issues with brands moving in and out of shows. So they don't have locations in the territory. So franchisees that come to visit the booth that say, do you have a local store for us to visit? And problems with logistics of getting people in and out, and so on and so forth. So we just thought that there's got to be a better way to bring people to a format to be able to see what franchisors are offering. There's a number of pieces that create value for a franchise company using our platform, and I think in no specific order, when you look at the time that somebody spends to try to go to a show, most shows in general attract people from 90 miles of where the show is located. So if you're going to go to a Houston, Texas show, you're only getting people that come from the Houston area. The traditional drop-down competitors where you can go click on to buy a franchise or lead generation sites, and ours is more of a information inclusive platform where you can get finance, legal, shop in the brand, talk to somebody from the brand at a time that's convenient. We also have done studies and looked at almost 84% of anybody buying a franchise is working in a job or some position at this point in time, meaning they can't speak to you, most of them, during the day. And so from 5 o'clock on at night is when the majority of franchise lead generation calls get made. And so we believe that formula, along with the fact that we only have 25 people on a show on any given night, 25 brands, it's not overwhelming. A consumer can go from room to room, actually talk to someone from the executive team via email, chat, hey, I'm interested in this, so on and so forth. Looks good. They can look at their videos, any of the assets or collateral that they've put into that showpiece, whether it's a franchisee video that says, Mike's Pizza is great, here's why we bought one, we're a multi-unit franchisee, along with the fact that they can also take that particular portion of the show and go back and review it at some other point in time. We log those after the show, so they'll be able to get it in our video downlog to show it to their husband, to somebody else, so they can actually get the experience of what the brand looked like. So there's multiple reasons. I mean, in the simplest form, you could sit in your pajamas at home and come to the show. And we have a finance corner and a legal corner, so if you want to know what it looked like to get that brand financed at that point in time, it's something you can do right there, talk to somebody, and you're not being bombarded by 50 salespeople because you swiped a card somewhere when you're at a show. This is a specific interest to this particular brand. The other thing I will tell you is that all of the brands on Virtual Franchise Show will have 2 shows per month. And so that's 24 shows a year. And the cost basis of our program is going to cost you less on a yearly basis to be 24 times in front of different audiences. And we bring in leads through PPC, through groups. There's a number of ways we bring consumers to the site that are looking to buy franchises. So we just believe that in today's world where 60% of people are interfacing mobily, there's a better way to talk to the consumer and expose the brand to them with all of its assets and accoutrements and create that connection between the brand and the consumer. You know, logistically, it's very difficult to get to shows and get your people scheduled. It's a tremendous cost. The average 10 by 10 booth in our industry is going to run you $4,000 at a minimum in some shows and as much as $10,000 in other shows, and that's a 10 by 10 booth. And then there's Freeman Expositions, and you're going to rent carpet, chairs, tables. You might be at $10,000 or $12,000. In addition to the fact that you've got to get flights, hotels, get people there, move them in and out of the city with transportation. So, you know, travel, logistics, and cost are huge consumables. There's a cost in our business, or average cost per closed lead, and so those run different with the price value of a brand. A $200,000 brand costs less to close a lead than $1 million brand does if you're selling Buffalo Wild Wings. But the franchisor benefits are many. We have seen a change in the industry from the travel, logistics, and the cost basis. Consumers are much more comfortable viewing an opportunity on their laptop, on their mobile device, or from their home. They don't feel it's invasive to them. We've looked at studies. They don't feel like they're being pushed into anything. In addition to that, the old school in this business was, well, we're not going to send you the document until we get an application from you. Consumers are much more sophisticated than they used to be. There are a large portion of franchisors, if you take a look at the International Franchise Association roster, that will give you the item 7 right on their website, okay? It's one of the assets we post up is your snapshot of your item 7, your low to high investment cost. You don't want to be in a conversation with somebody who doesn't understand what the financial commitment is to your brand, A. And B, it's not the appropriate business investment for them. So if your business investment is $100,000 and they're looking to put in $1 million, they may be looking at Buffalo Wild Wings type business versus the opposite. If it's $1 million and they have $100,000 to invest, it's probably not the right business opportunity for them to get into at this point. So we think that the franchisor benefits and features of how we steer people through the system and you know, are looking at when they come on, you know, what their fill out sheet is. We have a drip campaign to bring them on. There's no cost for us to bring a consumer in from your side. Okay, so the consumers participate in our site for free. So the franchisor benefit is, if you've ever been to a show and you know, you'll see many exhibitors walking through the show. You'll see many suppliers coming in, handing you their card going, hey, you know, we do printing, we do that. Those aren't people coming to the show here. These are buyers coming. There's no cost basis for them. It's not the way the business was built. They need to be able to attend for free. All we ask is for their information. So you can put them in a remarketing campaign that becomes your specific lead. If they visit another site and they put in a request for a lead, there'll be another specific lead, but they're not leaving there with 250 swipes on their card. They may have talked to 3 companies. So we've scaled the process back to make sure it's a much more focused, qualified lead. It does include suppliers, exhibitors, and all the other folks that come by your table when you're at trade show. We've taken the best of the show business, and we do it without the flight time or the expense. So, in its simplest explanation is everything from our speaker series to our finance section, our legal advice section, the brand experience that you're able to get on VFSI is the same experience you would have at an actual show. You're able to go from brand to brand, walk through, there's a resource section, the finance section, all of those components without leaving the comfort of your home. And that is what the show is. The show is bringing together speakers, finance people, legal experts, brand knowledge, the brand experience, and it's all in some show format in a town in a specific area. We've been able to pull all of these together, and again, extensive time, energy, and investment into both the B2B side and the B2C side. And so we can create this experience for someone coming in to find their future in the franchise world. And so we think we've brought the best of the show business without the travel time or the expense to the consumer, and at no cost to them. We're not very intrusive to someone coming in looking for a business. We want to know 3 fundamental things. What type of industry you're looking for? What is your timeline to get in business? And what level of investment are you able to make? And those are the 3 criteria we ask somebody coming in the door to pre-qualify them, to know when they do speak with a brand, when they are exchanging information in the live chat portion of the virtual show, that that person on that brand knows exactly that Paul, Nathan, or whomever has $50,000 to invest. We believe that the qualification process over the years has gone from very large to very small. The benefits for the potential buyer franchisee is they're not going to be hounded by, multiple salespeople. There's a chat in there, please contact me, don't contact me, so they're able to choose the criteria whether they want to be contacted or not. The time availability portion of when someone can attend a show is tremendous. I believe, based on research we've done, that if shows were actually held from 4 to 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they would have much better traffic based on people's availability to get there. People still work on the weekends, people still work till getting off from your boss at 3 o'clock and attending, but you have traffic, parking, convention centers. There's so many logistical issues. The other thing I'd say to you for the franchisees, there's a team of experts. We've been in this industry for over a decade. We've worked with over 400 brands on our own and franchised them through our other vertical company. We have done every show there is under the sun, and what I will tell you is that our legal experts and our finance experts are not people you're going to have to go find. Okay, from Harold Kastenbaum to Diamond Financial to Wells Fargo, who's our partner, Huntington Bank, who does our SBA loans. These are all folks that are on our site. You don't have to go out and figure out who does an SBA loan, who's going to be able to look at your legal document. We've shortcutted the circuit for you. So these are our experts. These are who we believe in. These are who we use for a decade or more. So that's it. We've consolidated the resources for a franchisee to make this a simple process for them, because time is the most valuable resource. And if you're not going to buy a Jiffy Lube, or you're not going to buy a Quaker Steak Lube, which is a restaurant, if you're not going to buy one of those businesses, mark it off your list and move on. So this is the ability for us to bring you to a show, expo the show for you. You can make your decision whether that's the brand for you or not.